Hey Healthy Bunnies, we're almost 2 weeks into the new year and I just want to commend everyone that set New Year's goals for 2014, especially related to health and wellness, maintaining your current fitness and also improving your fitness for a new you in 2014. I really want to commend people, especially those who were willing to make these goals known publicly through social media or their blogs or other YouTube channels. But being 2 weeks into the new year, this is the time when a lot of people tend to kind of fall off. One, because they may not have an active accountability partner, and also because maybe their goals were kind of large, and so you end up sort of getting discouraged over not meeting your goal day to day. So I just want to give you some encouragement and give you some tips on how to keep up your goals for the new year now that we have begun 2014. And if you haven't set any, this is a really great time to do so. When it comes to trimming body fat and weight loss, I'm always an advocate for how you eat being the biggest key player in keeping the weight off and getting the weight off in the first place. So a lot of people will have goals for themselves for how they eat. They will say something like, no carbs, no white food in general, no beige food, no fried food, no soda, no wine. I'm not going to take medicine because medicine is not really herbal. So even if I will, hopefully I don't get sick. And then I'm like, I don't know that that's really that realistic. There's this carrot diet, and what you do is you eat like 4 baby carrots on the first day and then 8 baby carrots on the next day, and then you only have water on the 3rd day, and I heard you lose like a ton of weight. What? So I already threw away my microwave, and I'm only allowing myself to eat food that is raw and food that is rainbow colored. So if it is white or brown, I'm not eating it. So I already threw out like everything in my pantry just to like keep me on track and everything. And I don't even want like white or like starch foods like around me. So if you're gonna eat like potatoes, then we just can't hang out. Okay, we're human, and human beings are, rewards oriented. We tend to work harder when we are working towards little goals that we can get to. So keep in mind that if you set a really, really big goal that's going to take a long time for you to get to it, you might sort of get tired on your way to that goal. So it's good to set little milestones so that you know that you're on track, so that you have something to celebrate. Now, I personally, when it comes to fitness, I like to set goals for myself and then rewards that help me to get to my next goal. So one reward might be a new pair of workout shoes, or a new pair of workout pants that are from a fitness store that's a little more pricey, or a massage, because that's a really great reward for hard workouts. So things that are not going to derail you from your entire plan. Now, aside from just making those goals public on maybe Twitter or Facebook, another good thing to do is to take a journal of some sort and write your goals down. You can also, within that journal, also keep track of how you're doing on a daily or weekly basis. I prefer daily. If you just give yourself, maybe 10 minutes a day in the morning, preferably, so you start your day recharged and keeping those goals in mind, that's really helpful. Another important thing, especially for those who are trying to lose weight or trim fat, is to have some other way of measuring their fitness progress aside from the scale. Now, the scale is, of course, helpful because it is kind of a measure of how you're doing if you're trying to lose weight. But me, for instance, if I were to not work out for 2 weeks, it's possible that I might lose weight. And that might make me think, oh, okay, well, I didn't lose any weight. I think I'm doing okay. But in actuality, I lost weight because my muscles have begun to atrophy. So if your body composition changes and now your body fat percentage is up and your muscle percentage is down, then you might lose weight, and this may keep you off track. So what I do is, in addition to weighing myself on the scale maybe every 2 weeks or every month, I also use a tape measure, and this is a really important guide. You might have a goal for yourself for your waistline or your thigh size or your hip size. If you use your tape measure, you can keep track of how many inches you've lost, and this will be probably especially encouraging to you when you get on the scale and you just know you lost weight and you didn't, but you may have still lost inches. So it's a good thing to keep a log of. Don't check yourself too much, because we do fluctuate up and down on a daily basis because of how much fluid we hold on to in our body. But maybe on a weekly basis or every 2 weeks, take out that tape measure and see how your body is feeling. Another thing to do is to be realistic, okay? Don't just set a goal because it's a good goal. Set the goal that is realistic for you, and if in the long run you want to do something really, really amazing, set smaller tasks in between so that you can eventually work up to that goal. So for instance, if you wake up at 8 a.m. and you want to wake up at 5 a.m., I don't think that you should just immediately say, okay, tomorrow I'm waking up at 5. Maybe just gradually work towards that. So maybe for your first goal, you can wake up maybe 45 minutes earlier and go to bed maybe an hour and a half earlier. That way you give yourself a little leeway for the time that you may take to fall asleep. And then in the morning, you may need to hit snooze a couple times. We're sort of trained to be focused on calories, fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Now those are obviously the most important. That's why the nutrition facts are labeled the way they are, but it can be misleading. When you read those things and say, for instance, the fat is low or the calories are low, you've now read that and said, okay, it's healthy. But the problem is it doesn't focus in enough detail on the nutrients. So sometimes you're getting the right amount of calories in a day, the right amount of fat in a day, but you're not getting nutrient dense food that's full of the vitamins and minerals you need in a day. And so you end up with these strange cravings because your body is missing something important like zinc or iron. And so it's really important to focus on whole foods, things that come from the earth mostly, and a lot less processed food and enriched food where the nutrients have been added back into it. So for me, for instance, that's why I eat a lot of things like kale and spinach and just different fruits and veggies. So overall, I just want to encourage you to stick with your goals, keep looking back at what you wrote and what you said, and keep your promise to yourself, because come March and June and December, you're going to be so happy that you stuck to it. Not only are you going to get results, but it really builds character in a person to make a commitment and then actually stick to it and follow through. So whether your results are small or big, the fact that you made the goals and stuck to them and met them, you're further along this year than you were last year, and that's the biggest part. So I hope this encouraged you, and if you have very specific questions about health and fitness and weight loss and different workouts that work for me or might work for you, leave those comments below and let me know. I would like this to be an open dialogue. I want you to feel like you have people on your team and people to be accountable to. There are tons and tons of studies that show that people who work together as a group tend to lose weight and keep it off a lot longer than people who have to go at it alone. So since we're here on YouTube and on the blog and everything together, we might as well do this journey together so that we can all hit our goals. So let me know what your goals are. I'm really interested to know, and that might help me with what information I provide on my channel and what recipes I do. If you're trying out like a paleo diet, or you're doing vegetarian once or twice a week, or you're moving to be pescatarian, whatever it is, I'm here to help, and we're in this together. So I hope these tips helped, and thanks again for stopping by my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I'm happy to have you. And those of you who've recently subscribed, hello new subscribers, thank you for your support. Remember my motto, eat like you love to live. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Remember, eat like you love to live.